Today we're going to do a review on a set of tires that has 100,000 miles on them and still going strong. So jump in for another ride. I wanted to do a quick review on the Goodyear Wrangler tires that came factory on my 2016 Ford F150. Now these Goodyear tires are very much a street cred, even though the truck came with four-wheel drive and electronic locking differential. So there is absolutely nothing applicable as far as an all-terrain tire with these. Now I do, with my job, every once in a while I have to drive on a median of a road, or maybe go through a tow yard or a storage yard, something like that, to look at a wrecked vehicle. But I don't do anything absolutely crazy with this as far as off-roading, so just let that be known right up front as far as the applicability of these tires. They are nothing aggressive as far as an off-road application. Now, as far as paying attention to the air pressure in these tires, I'm absolutely a stickler for it. I absolutely maintain between 35 and 37 psi all the time in these tires. And so I do keep a close eye on that, as far as the TPMS sensor on the dash, and as well with the manual gauge. So I'm sure that has a huge benefit. Now these tires absolutely drive just fantastic on the road, to be honest. There's no wobble, there's no bounce, there's no crazy vibrations. Now with that, please understand that I do have a tire machine set up at my shop, so that I can, anytime I want it, when I rotate these tires or whatever, and I do rotate them very often. When I rotate them, that if I feel like one of them may be out of balance, or I can check the balance on them, they have been balanced several times. So I know that makes a big difference in that. Now, the factory size tire on my 2016 F150 is 275/65/8. So with that said, let's jump out. We'll get a tread depth gauge, and we will actually go around and measure the tread depth on all four corners and just see kind of what's left after 99,466 miles on a set of tires.
All right, please excuse my friend Abby here. She's hanging out with me, so I didn't have the heart to go and put her in her kennel. As you can tell, she just loves hanging out here by the shop, and it's cool, and we got shade out, so I didn't have the heart to go put her up. So she's hanging out with me, so please excuse her out here panting, and I don't know if you can hear this in the mic or not, but she's going to hang out with us. So before we get started taking a look at the Goodyear Wranglers real quick, I wanted to share some information for anyone that isn't really familiar with it, a couple of tools. And they're just really basic tread depth measuring tools. And this is kind of the first one here. And this is just something super cheap, simple, that you can get at any auto parts store. Most big box stores, honestly. And it's just got some indicators here on the side for like a tread depth. And it has just a piece of metal that sticks out. So basically how this works is super simple. You just set the pointer on the tire, and as you push it down, the pad here will set on top of the tread, and it will land on a number, and that will indicate your tread depth. One that I actually prefer is a tread depth gauge that's kind of built into a tire pressure gauge, and these are a little more expensive, but they definitely are more convenient. It has an end here to let out like a lot of air at once, and also it has a push button here that will let out a little bit of air, and you can also monitor the pressure as you're letting it out. And the way this works as a tread depth gauge is basically it just has a similar bar here that's built into it. So if you push it down, this pad here is flat. You set this down on the tire, and as you push it down, the pad will settle on top of the tread. And it has a kind of a graph gauge here, or maybe like a chrono gauge. I'm not sure exactly what you would call that, but you can kind of see it move there as you move that indicator bar up and down. So this one just has Harley Davidson on it, but there's a lot of different ones made out there. This just happens to be the one that I have that I've always used around the shop. So a couple of different options there to help you out. Starting at the left front, or the front driver's side, you can see that there is actually some pretty decent pitting starting to go on here at the shoulder lugs of the tire, and there is quite a bit of wear going on right there. So, and this actually gives us a good shot. I don't know if you can see this or not, but you can see the wear bar, the wear indicator down in there, and it's pretty close to the tread. And just kind of document here, take the tread depth gauge. You can see the pointer down on the lower part of the tire, and push it down, and the surface sits on top of the tread, and we can see how much is sticking out there off of the flat surface, and it looks like we are down to about 6:30 seconds of tread left. So not the end of the world. You know, as you can see, we're not in the red by any stretch of the imagination. So I would say that's pretty impressive for 100,000 miles. So let's move on to the right front, or the front passenger side. Okay, so front passenger side. Sorry about the dirty tires. I haven't washed this thing in a while, so we can kind of see the wear indicator there sticking up, and we'll see if this one's close to the other one. And we're at 6:30 seconds, which actually is a good sign, because that definitely shows that the tires have been rotated pretty often, so the wear on it is you know, pretty even. So we will move on to the rear. All right, right rear, or rear passenger side, and there is a wear indicator right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll try to get a close-up of it. And we check the tread depth. And again, 6:30 seconds. Okay, so on the driver's side rear, I do not see any wear indicator bars immediately available to us. You can see on the outer edge of the tire that we're starting to get a lot of pitting on it. So definitely starting to show some pretty significant signs of wear in that aspect of it. The good thing about all these tires is I have noticed that there's no really like dry cracking on the shoulders, which is actually really surprising for the age of these tires. And just to kind of document, we are at 6:30 seconds. So I would definitely say for 100,000 miles, that is extremely impressive for a set of tires on a pickup truck.
So as you can see, there's definitely some wear on these tires by the tread depth. Now there is some life left in them. That doesn't mean that they're just totally gone by any stretch of the imagination. Now, just due to the age of the tires and for dependability's sake, I will be changing these tires pretty quick, although they do have a little bit of life left in them. So maybe someone could, you know, make some use out of these tires, maybe as a ranch truck, farm truck, or someone that maybe don't drive very far or something like that. And so, you know, maybe they can get the rest of their life use stuff out of them and, you know, take advantage of it that way. So, and, you know, I'll be switching over to a new set of tires. So I'll put a link down below in the description so you can check out the new tires and what I decided to go with. But as you can see, you can get a lot of life out of tires if you take good care of them. I mean, 100,000 miles, I would like to say it's a common thing. I don't know how common it is, but I don't see it very often personally. So I wanted to share some information with you as far as that goes. Like I say, I do rotate my tires, you know, on a regular basis. Also, I do have the advantage of being able to balance them, you know, anytime I rotate them, or basically, you know, anytime that I'm doing maintenance on the truck, I can check the balance and rebalance them. So that has made a huge difference in the way they ride and drive. One thing I will say about the Goodyears, this is just a personal observation since this is a personal review. These tires tend to make a lot of noise the older and more worn they get, and that's kind of a standard thing with tires. But I honestly, been through a lot of different brands of tires, and I notice it more with the Goodyears. They have an absolutely long life, great tread wear. I mean, Goodyear makes a fantastic tire in my opinion. Just honestly, as they age, they get loud. I mean, it's just what they do. It's one of the characteristics of them. So I don't know why. So just be aware of that. My recommendation for Goodyear Wranglers, this particular style of Goodyear Wrangler, anyway, if you're looking to put tires on your truck, I would absolutely recommend these tires, especially for long life. Now, again, I wouldn't do anything of, you know, any sort of off-road application or even mild off-road application. You know, if you're looking for more of an all-terrain tire, this is definitely not your answer. If you're looking for something with absolutely great wear, great highway manners, you know, great around town manners, this is definitely a good tire for that application. Now, I would not recommend this tire for any sort of real all-terrain or off-road application. It'll do just enough truck stuff to still be a truck tire, whether it's, you know, towing a buddy out of a mud hole, or, you know, hauling some feed out, or hauling stuff from the hardware store, whatever it is. It's just not going to be an aggressive off-road tire. It just doesn't have it. But if you're looking for a tire with great road manners, great highway manners, great around town, and it's going to offer you an absolutely great tread wear rating and a long life as long as you take care of it, I would absolutely 100% recommend the Goodyears. Now, just full transparency, I will not be going back with the Goodyear Wranglers whenever I replace these tires. And the only reason why I will not be is because I really want to go back with more of a all-terrain tire, something just slightly more of a aggressive off-road application, just for the simple fact of if my son and I want to go hunting in the fall and we may need it on some family property, or maybe for a work application, something like that. So I'll be doing something a little different, and I will post up a video about that, so be on the lookout for that. But as far as a tire for a truck, it doesn't matter two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. This is absolutely great tire for more of an on-road, highway, around town application. So for that, I absolutely would recommend it. So I really hope this video helped you out with any future considerations or applications for your truck tire purchase. There's a lot to consider whenever you're spending that amount of money, especially in today's prices. So if this helped you out, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button, hit that bell notification, and hit the subscribe button. This is truly something that I absolutely enjoy sharing information with the YouTube community and the automotive community in general. So this is truly a passion project, and I absolutely like sharing everything that I possibly can for you. So as always, do me a favor and jump in for another ride.